Hello guys, and welcome back. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. So as you can see, I finally put on an intro to my videos. I managed to do yesterday all by myself, so I hope you like it. I know it's not super fancy or super glamorous or intricate or anything like that, but I think it's cute, it's fun, and I like it. So let me know if you do like it, and let's just get started. So today I wanted to talk about more in depth of my job. You've been following me from the start. You know that I work in a beauty store, and I've been doing this job for almost 3 years now. Yeah, in October will be 3 years, and I actually like it. And I figure I will give you some tips how it is to work in the beauty industry, and maybe give you some tips on how to just get a job in there, maybe if you're interested. So first of all, the way I got this job was that I was just finishing working as a receptionist in a hotel. I worked there for about 3 months back in summer 2017. So I was on the hunt for another job because I didn't want to be unoccupied for the rest of the winter. I had a surf around at my CV to the stores that I do liked it, because I wanted to just go back into working in a store. And I actually always wanted to try and work in a beauty store because that was something that I've never done before, and I've always been passionate about beauty and fashion, obviously. And so I just left my resume, and a few days later I just had a call, and I was really ecstatic because it just happened straight away. So I didn't have the time to recover from working all summer without a day off, that I just had a new job, and that was always a plus. It's always a plus to have a job. So I went in there, just had a chat with the boss, and about a month later, I just started working there. At first, I was working part-time, especially during winter. I would work full-time in summer, and then I would be back at part-time in the winter. I know it's kind of messy, but before lockdown, I was working full-time for good. And next week, I'll be back, and I'm so happy about it. I know I'll be back working part-time because everything is slowly beginning again, so there are not a lot of people just go around and shop, so there's no need for us to just be 3 of us. So I don't know, but all I know that week I'll be back. So moving on, I've been doing this job for quite some time now. I've never attended a makeup artist school, or I've never studied dermatology or anything like that. So that leads me to the actual first tip. To work in a beauty store, you don't have to be a pro makeup artist. You don't have to just study dermatology or everything like that. If you did and you are doing, that's good, because it gives you a plus, but that are things that you learn along the way, because the main thing is just selling, because you're just a beauty advisor. You're advising people products and makeup and perfumes and all that. You're not just giving them a treatment or a specialist in treatments, and you won't be using specific tools or anything like that. This actually depends in which stores do you work. Maybe chains like Sephora or Douglas or stuff like that, they're more advanced in that sense, and there are actually resident makeup artists in there. But as far as regular beauty shops that are not like super huge, you don't have. It's good to have a knowledge about beauty. I mean, to know that primer goes before a foundation, that in order to make your foundation last longer, you also have to add powder and stuff like that, the basics. And that's really important to know them, because otherwise you really will start from scratch, and I don't know if people will hire you if they don't know that you do those kind of stuff. When I did my interview, he actually didn't ask me if I knew anything about beauty, because they told me that they will just help me to learn along the way, and as long as I had a little bit of experience chatting with people and engaging with people, it was just good. And actually at the time I did have some back experience, because as I said before, I was just working receptionist, and the year before I've worked in a clothing store, so I've always been in touch with people and I always had to just interact with them, so it was quite familiar for me. And you just need to be outgoing and be open to interact with people. If you're just super shy, it's not gonna work for you. And I know it might seem stupid, kind of shy to talk to people, you won't get a job. Of course, it's not the case, but being outgoing and bubbly and just wanting to do more and engage with people, that's the main key in working in beauty, but also in any kind of store and in any kind of job where interacting with people is just the key. And I'm sorry if sometimes I might look down, but I have my notebooks down here. I took really some notes because there's just a lot to say. So just be open to talk to people and just know and try to be as friendly as possible, because you have to sell. And that's actually the main skill that is just key. And that leads me to the next point. Selling, it's something that you're not born with. I mean, some people are more outgoing and they really are very talkative and outspoken, so they just really, with their talking, say your product. So that for some people might come easier compared to others, but that's something that you really learn along the way. As I said, I had a few years of experience back, so I clearly know that I had to sell and that I really had to somehow convince people, because there are various types of clients. The ones that ask for a certain product and they won't ask you any questions, but there are those ones that are really tricky and they ask you dozens of questions and you actually have to convince them, especially if they're buying a 300 euro face cream and you somehow have to justify that. So always remember to just talk and just say as much as you know about a certain product, whether it's a cream or it's a perfume. For example, if you know the story about the perfume, what it's shaped and what it represents, those are literally the details that will make the difference. For example, La Vie est Belle, which I'm sure you know, it's a super famous perfume, and Julia Roberts is the face of La Vie est Belle. And they chose her because that bottle represents a smile, a crystal smile, and Julia is known for her beautiful smile, so that's why they chose her. That's the main reason they chose her. And that's something that a client will appreciate to know. And maybe if they're just debating to buy the perfume instead of another, maybe for the tiny detail, they would change their mind. They would change their mind. And that really makes a huge difference. And that's really important. Of course, all those details we'll learn along the way, but it's important to attend all the courses that your boss and your company will allow you to go. And generally in winter we attend about 5 or 4 courses, and they're actually really interesting. They introduce you to new products, they explain ingredients and what it's supposed to do and how for you to sell them. They actually give excellent selling tips, and that's really important, so don't you ever miss out on any of those. For example, April would have been such a huge month for us courses wise, but lockdown stopped everything, but we actually did some courses online. I wanted to attend them because they just teach so much, so don't ever miss out on those opportunities. Plus, there's a plus. Every course you will have a goodie bag, and there are actually full-size products in there depending on the brands. Some brands are more generous than others, but those are products that will remain to you and you can use for yourself, give to your friends or your mom, or you can actually sell because they're yours and you can sell. Like I actually sold some of them on my eBay and they're completely new, they're not used, they're just straight out of the factory, and that's really a plus. And it also, if you cannot buy or you won't spend that kind of money on certain products, it allows you to try them and give them an even relatable review to the client in order to sell the product better. Don't forget to cross-sell. Cross-selling is just the key in every store, especially when a client is buying something that is actually cheap. So you're trying to convince them to buy something in order to spend a little bit more money. I'm sure in luxury retail it's even more important to just cross-sell, but as my reality, for example, it's just something that we have to do constantly. At first you just forget about cross-selling, because if they're buying a 30 euros lipstick, it just doesn't come to your mind to just show them a lip liner combined with a lipstick. And at first it actually didn't came to me, but as I started working and my colleagues and my boss really taught me that it's crucial that at least you just show them the other product. They might not even buy it, because you have to try and sell the second product or the third maybe, because it's really important to know that you're caring about giving the full service. For example, as I said before, if you're buying a lipstick, don't forget to just recommend the coordinated lip liner. Maybe they didn't even thought about it, or maybe they answered no, I already got it, but at least you tried. And for example, when selling a foundation, or try to sell them a cream, and because it's important, first of all, skincare is crucial for makeup to appear perfect. So when you are just trying on their faces a foundation, just if they allow you, because most clients don't want foundation or anything like that, but whenever I'm selling a foundation, I always try the foundation on their faces, because it's really important to match the color, especially if they're spending an important amount of money. They're not spending 10 euros or 20 euros, they're spending 50 euros for a foundation. So you want to be sure to match their exact complexion. So it's another tip that I give you, just always try the foundation. At first I was so scared to do that, because as I said, I don't have a makeup class, or I don't have a makeup diploma or anything like that, but as long as things to yourself, you can always do them to the others. We don't give makeovers because we're not makeup artists, but we try our best to at least do them the base, because once they saw the base, they see the foundation, they see the powder, they see the bronzer, they see the blusher, and they see that everything is complete. They actually look in the mirror and say, oh, I do look good. And so they will ask how much the powder is, how much the blush is, how much the eyeliner is, and it happens that we'll buy all of them, and that's really something that makes you feel good, because you did your job perfectly, and that's really important. Being complimented by clients is the best feeling, guys. That's really rewarding, because your hard work, your expertise is just being rewarded, and that's really, really amazing. Something that really keeps me going and gives me that excitement that nothing can really compare. Just be yourself. Don't try to force anything. When I said earlier you have to cross-sell, yes, you do have to do that, but don't overdo it. Just Be always kind to people and try to explain the product. Don't give for granted that they know what you're talking about, because even if they use a Shiseido cream or a Chanel one that cost like 300, 200 euros, maybe they actually don't know what the cream does, but or if they want to change it, you have to just give the information. Or for example, a client that is willing to spend that much, she wants to know about that cream, what it contains, what it does, why it costs that much, and giving as many information as you know, it's key. That's key in selling anything, really, especially really expensive product. So I think I'm done here, and I hope those tips that I gave you are useful. And just, I don't know, if you do work in the beauty industry and you do work in a beauty shop, let me know if you do have some tips. Even for me, we won't ever stop learning in any field, so there's always space to learn more. That's something that has worked for me, and then I figure would be useful for you if you're trying to just land a job. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you on my next one. Bye!